Broadcasting live from the Iltv studios located here at University Drive. Welcome once again to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the local Catholic Christian community. To my right is my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Today is Monday, the 13th day of May 2024. And I'm certain by now everybody would have heard the news, the rumor. The police has not prepared an official statement yet. So the police is late, perhaps I can say it, late again. And we are receiving report where earlier today, a Negro woman holding a Negro child, it is alleged that Negro people prevented her from jumping off one of two bridges, and it's the Paradise Island Bridge. I'm not sure which one of the bridges it is, but praise the Lord, she has been restrained, and therefore it appears, based on the information we are receiving, that she is safe and the infant is also safe, so we give God thanks for that. Over the weekend, we saw an escalation in murders, and we saw where some of the youngest in our nation have been accused of murder. So we're being told that first, on Friday evening, at a place that they describe as a basketball court on Quintine's Alley, a Negro lad was killed. And then, hours later, a posse of other youthful young men went in search of whom they suspected was the alleged trigger man. And so they went 2, possibly 3 blocks west of Quintine Alley through an alley called Wright Lane, where most of the residents around 3 a.m. was asleep. They tried the window open, and when it was all over, they opened fire and killed the alleged shooter. This is Freedom March. What a day in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Wayne Monroe is going to have to find a way to hang murderers. God save the King. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Lord of mercy. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. The weekend in the island of New Providence has been horrible. We now see where young people are committing some of the most heinous crimes. And it's terrible. The minister responsible for national security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, is going to have to use his many, many years of legal expertise to lead us successfully to the gallows and to ensure capital punishment. There is a generation since January 6 of 2000 who has not experienced capital punishment. As a result of that, thousands of our citizens have no respect for human life, have no respect for the rule of law, and any simple dispute can be led to a person taking the law into their own hands. And so we saw Friday on Quinton Alley, where it is alleged that there's a park, a young man had been killed, and then hours later, very, very early on Saturday morning, around 3 a.m., a number of young men are suspected of having pried open his bedroom window and shot him from the window. For many of you, you might not recall that we have had a number of murders where the aggressor either went to the bathroom window and while victims were showering, they executed them. An example being a female in the Yellow Elder community a number of years ago. She was catching a shower. Someone went to the window and shot her. To the best of my knowledge, no one has been held accountable for that crime which was perpetrated against the female. And then there are other examples where gunmen have gone to bedrooms and they have opened fire on the victims. So this is terrible. Something has to be done. And it is the duty of every citizen who fundamentally believe in capital punishment to petition the Parliament of the Bahamas. There has to be fair in your society. After all, each and every one of us have the capacity to commit a crime and to commit murder. But if we are aware that at the end of the day, if we do commit the capital offense of murder, and if we are convicted, the ultimate penalty would be capital punishment, many citizens will think twice before they commit that crime. It is a horrible, horrible situation, and the fact that the murderers are becoming even younger and younger and younger. I think I shall now invite my spiritual advisor to see what he can do from a biblical perspective in view of the fact that this country is marching straight to hell. My spiritual advisor.
Senator, yeah, maybe tomorrow I can really find a more fitting passage of scripture to deal with, what has happened on the weekend. But let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5, and let's understand the Apostle Peter, forgive me, is encouraging the Christians about humility and, of course, avoiding Satan at all costs. Humble yourselves, therefore. 1 Peter chapter 5, 6 through 9. I'm reading from the NIV. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of suffering. Encouraging the Christians, 1 Peter chapter 5, 6 through 9. Be alert and a sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Words of encouragement coming from the Word of God. Let us always blessed in Jesus' name. Thank you so much, Mr. Producer. Back to you, Senator.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. I think early, let's pay this bill, my spiritual advisor.
All right, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is looking at the proposed New Providence Hospital, and so the Ministry of Health and Wellness invites you to join them for the town hall meetings to discuss the new state of the art hospital to be located at New Providence Highway, Dolphin Drive. Your input is vital as we strive to expand excellence in healthcare. We want to hear from you. May the 14th at the Stapleton School Auditorium, or May the 16th at 11 Waters Kingdom Ministries. We invite residents of Stapleton, Rock Crusher, Dolphin Drive, West Grove, and the surrounding communities to come and listen out. And of course, participate in this town hall meeting. I think the starting time, if I'm not mistaken, is about 7 p.m. Give me one quick second, Ms. Medusa. The town hall meeting, of course, the topic is proposed New Providence Hospital. The start time is 7 p.m. for both town hall meetings, which will be, the first one's going to be May the 14th at the Stapleton School Auditorium. And I believe that's located on Dolphin Drive. And of course, the second town hall meeting will be at Living Waters Kingdom Ministries. And if I'm not mistaken, that is on Warren Street. That'll be May the 16th, 2024. And of course, the Ministry of Health and Wellness invites you to join them for their town halls to discuss the new state-of-the-art hospital to be located at New Providence Highway, which is Dolphin Drive. Your input is vital as we strive to expand excellence in healthcare. We want to hear from you. Panel presentation and open mic. They invite residents from Stapleton, Rock Crusher, Dolphin Drive, West Grove, and the surrounding communities to participate in this town hall meeting. Thank you so much, Mr. Medusa. Back to you, Sandra.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. Well, folks, we started the show by telling you of the tragedy of 2 murders. And as is my custom, when I arrive in studio, I tend to talk with the reporters straight up to the editor. And one of the major conflict for me was when I asked them, where did the shooting took place? And they told me on the basketball court at Quintine Alley. And I could think of no basketball court on Quintine Alley. So what did I do? Using my old memory, I went to Andrews Avenue and I turned north on the Quintine Alley and I walked to Wolf Road in my mind, and I could see no park. Then I crossed over to a public library, which I suspect is named in the honor of the late Paul L. Adderley, and I do remember that there might be a basketball court. But further west, on the boundary of the library, is a primary school by the name of Stephen Dillard. And Stephen Dillard has a basketball court. So I asked myself, could the shooting have taken place at Stephen Dillard Primary School or in the library of the Honorable Paul L. Adderley? I now think it's Stephen Dillard, and I try to figure out why the police does not want us to know if it is Stephen Dillard, because Stephen Dillard geographically is north of Quintine Alley and north of Wrights Lane. So the Negro young men who would have been involved in the shooting and the death principally would have come from that area. And in the case of Quintine Alley and Wrights Lane, they would have come politically from the St. Barnabas constituency. So I've concluded it must be Stephen Dillett, and the public needs to know. We need to know if murder is taking place after school on a basketball which is state-owned. It means that the Minister of National Security has the up to security. That's what it means. It means that law enforcement should be patrolling the public basketball court at a period when the neighborhood young people are playing basketball. Under ordinary circumstances, there would be no need for it, but we know that there's been this bragging that there is a proliferation of gangs, so that the talk is, it's gang, it's gang, it's gang, it's gang. So we have a situation where a young man was killed on the basketball court on Friday, and then of course they put together a posse. A posse is a group in the context of the Bahamas of Negro young men who ride together, arguing that they shall ride together and die together in pursuit of committing a criminal offense. So somebody put together a posse, they ride together, and since there appears to have been rivalry taking place in the community, and there is no proper leadership in many of these Negro communities, no one seems to be aware that the rivalry was becoming so deadly. And so the next thing everybody knew is the first man having been gunned down. Revenge is normally the natural reaction when man perceives that an injustice has taken place and that the law is going to fail him. So he takes the law in his hands, because everybody can see that you can kill in the country and in a couple months' time you get bail, or they drop the charge without telling the country why. So people take the law in their own hands. And so, Wright's Lane. Have you ever drove to Wright Lane? You should drive to Wright Lane. The streets might be 5.5 to 6 feet wide. And it's a beautiful community, but notwithstanding the fact that Shenandoah had $52 million, he didn't properly clean up many of those side streets. And so the reports are that they, having identified the alleged shooter on the park, they quietly pry open the window where perhaps he and other people occupied, and they killed them. So everything about this is tragic. The shooting on the school basketball court is tragic. The retaliation is tragic. It's just tragic that young men born within blocks of each other, within corners of each other, perhaps went to the same school, because they're not telling you, but these are Negro students. They're in the government school. I suspect if they're not in government school, they're in school. And now we have talks about who among them belong to a gang. Isn't it phenomenal that we have allowed our children to evolve, to emerge as gangsters? So they have deadly organization, and they take the law into their own hands. Nobody goes and tell the police, officer, he slapped me. In many instances, I can give you an example of a young man who has been beaten up from the 17th of December, roughly 2 years ago, and the police ain't call the suspect yet, because they concluded that the fellow who's lodging the complaint is crazy. And I do believe that they are right that he's crazy. But the evidence will show that notwithstanding his craziness, he was assaulted. But the police ain't doing nothing about it. And so there are a lot of young people who are faced with this situation where they go to the police and the police ain't doing nothing, because in the police computer, they may have you identified as being crazy or half crazy or have some situation. So therein lies the situation. Now the police has, I'm advised, perhaps an 18-year-old and maybe two 15-year-old, and the police is being given this wonderful story about who all are members of the gang, even though there has been proposed legislation to deal with people who are a part of a gang. So we're not very serious, and it's very tragic that there's no feelings. There's no feelings. And I want you to understand what I mean. Many, many years ago, as a student, some people drop kicked me. You know, I used to get drop kicked a lot. And then some fellas came to rescue me. And when I turned around, a childhood friend had taken a Guinness to stab the fellow who drop kicked me. And I turned around and I said, "No, don't stab him, you can kill him." He said, "Man, can he just drop kick you?" And he threw it at my foot and I jumped up. But I made sure he didn't kill that man for me. So gone is the feelings, gone is the love. So we have our young teenagers whose heart is evil. And principally it is evil because there is no punishment in the society. Lord, have mercy on political leadership. Lord, have mercy on our young people. We're not setting the example, and we're not ensuring that those who would commit murder are punished. There can be only one punishment for willfully committing murder. Take it from me, it is death by the rope. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Road is my spiritual advisor. I want to shift the debate and make it a little more political. I want to look at the upcoming Free National Movement Convention, which is scheduled for the 1st of June. And I want to look at the fact that the former Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis, has announced of his intention to seek to return as leader of the Free National Movement and by extension, leader of His Majesty's opposition.
Before you do that.
Yes?
Before you do, Senator, I think the TV is maybe a bit too loud. But before you do, I just want to make a quick comment about the latest incident over the weekend.
Oh, the murder?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for that. Go ahead.
Yeah, where we have, it does seem as if maybe a 15-year-old that may have been the trigger man. We have a 15-year-old that may have been murdered, or an 18-year-old that may have been murdered.
Well, go ahead, make your point.
All right, so here's the point, Senator. All right, so we had an incident in the court that escalated, where individuals came back, murdered somebody, then it escalated again. It went back to the home of someone who may have been involved in that killing, and then that person was executed. And we're looking at young men between the ages of 15 to 18. 15-year-old is still a boy. And so the question we must ask ourselves is, how is it that we have 15-year-olds who are at the point in the society where, number one, they can find guns, number two, they can be out of their homes at 3 a.m. in the morning. A 15-year-old can be out of his parents' house at 3 a.m. in the morning, out on the street to commit a murder. Now that's concerning. It should be concerning for all of us in society, because it shows us that we have some very, very deep-rooted social issues that has to be dealt with. If not, sooner or later, it's going to affect all of us. I haven't heard you dealt with that aspect of it. How are we going to now get 15-year-olds, and I do understand that we have a lot of young men who are involved in gangs in schools. What is the government or the Ministry of Education going to do about educating our people, our young people, about gangs, the effects and the cause of getting involved in gangs, and the consequences of being involved in gangs and what they could lead to? Because it's concerning for me, actually, to hear 15-year-old is involved in murder or murders. We have some serious problems.
Well, let us not forget that the Minister of Education spoke to Eyewitness News a couple days ago. This would have been in the aftermath of a number of students having been either found to have taken dangerous drugs in cookie candy forms, and she told Eyewitness News that notwithstanding that possession of dangerous drugs are illegal, the senior professional in her government school has told her that the children them got so much problems, they got to take little dope, even though it's against the law. That is what Glenys Hannah Martin, the woman who's in charge of public education, told the media.
So that's justification for dangerous drugs.
And therefore, I heard no member of the Christian Council. I didn't hear Belinda Wilson. I heard no intellectual, no health worker, no parents say, no minister, do not repeat what your educators said. So therein lies a major problem when we, as a people, begin to see our leaders telling us what educators tell them. But I say to them, I am 67, and all I got is social problem, but I don't smoke dope. Never smoke it. I can only talk for me, right? So what are we faced with? We faced with a situation where our leaders got to be strong and recognize that marijuana is dangerous, and a lot of the social problems that we are seeing in our country is drug related, whether or not you believe it. As to your question about a 13-year-old or 15-year-old being out, let us not forget what happened. On Friday night, there was a tragic incident. Their friend was murdered on the school basketball court. So, people who were present, people who learned about it, sought revenge to take the law into its own hands. So therein lies the problem. Why would I take the law in my hand? For two reasons. Either I perceive that I cannot get justice, that's one, or two, the law is soft. So if I conclude that the law is soft, then I'll be shooting people every other day, because I perceive that there will be no swift justice, notwithstanding that Allison may not be fully saved. She did have a wonderful concept about swift justice. So there's no swift justice. So young people know that they're going to find a way to come up with all kinds of social reason. They tell you, oh, he killed because his ma used to drink rum. Oh, he killed because his pa was a this. They come up with all kind of reason to justify it. As everybody play intellectual, as everybody attempt to identify with the Nazi thinking. On Friday, I told you about Nazism. I told you that the United States and China, there were no Nazi there, and they were committed to executing convicted murderers. But I also told you that one of the reasons why Europe is so anti-capital punishment, they were upset that at the end of World War II, and the Nazis were put on trial, them and Imperial Japan, led by the United States and the Soviet Union and China and Britain, they decided to hang the Nazi. And there were many Nazis who realized they were being treated as common criminals, because they were common criminals. They wanted to be executed by bullet, but they hanged them. And so it is their attempt to destroy capital punishment, and we become a victim of it. So you live in a society where there is no law. Yeah, we say parents should be responsible. Yes, but to the extent that parents are not responsible, that is why you have law. So if I'm not responsible, the law will deal with me. I will learn sense. The first punishment, I may learn sense. The second punishment, well, it would be more severe. Therein lies your problem. So we, as a people, we have to demand it. And essentially, the political leaders are not listening to us because they have been indoctrinated by a Nazi philosophy. They don't realize it's Nazism because they have not studied the history of World War II. They've not studied it. So that is what we are saying. We are saying neo-Nazism. It does not exist in the United States of America, and it doesn't exist in China. If you are run afoul of the law, if you want to commit murder, those two nations will execute you. And therein lies your problem, as we come up with all kind of reason. Oh, I ain't hanging nobody. You don't hang innocent people. If everybody's moving about the society acting lawfully and respectful and they ain't killing nobody, you ain't supposed to hang them. But you can't have a society where even your children are committing murders. No, you can't have that. And therein lies a fundamental problem where politicians' personal belief is superseding what is best in the interest of the state and the interest of law and order. So it's in the interest of law and order that there be no killing. In the interest of law and order, our children should be able to go to a public park and play basketball. Now you have to say, boy, I don't want my child to go on the basketball court at Stephen Dillett. Don't know I say. Stephen Dillett never committed murder. I'm going to ask them to change that name, because that wonderful Haitian, I don't like how his name is being bastardized. So therein lies our problem. We have to be serious. Glennis Hanna, she needs to sit down, her and her executive team need to sit down with some psychologists and psychiatrists, and they should say to a minister, no matter what that Negro told you, marijuana is not good for young people. You know the social problem we have? If this country wasn't too small, I would give you a story, but I can't. Because when I come off TV, I got family that's called me and said, why you be giving family story? That's the only business I know. I know nobody business. So drugs is a terrible thing in our country. It's a major distraction and destructor. And all these young people, they're smoking dope. It's in our high school. And when you have the Minister of Education being convinced by some Negro official who say, man, the children, them, all they got is social problems, so they got to take a little dope. Can you imagine that? That is what we have documented in this station when they interviewed the minister responsible for education. That's Glennis Hanna Martin. And I ain't picking on her. Eyewitness News got it. Because I told them point blank, I shall not believe unless I hear it. That's what I told them. And I ain't family to Thomas. And I know Doughton Thomas, but I had to listen to it because I wanted to hear what the heck this is Glennis Hanna Martin is alleged to have told Eyewitness News. So we have to be very careful, and therein lies our problem. So we are dysfunctional. When Glennis Hanna told Eyewitness News that her senior education official told her that the children them got so much problem, they got to take a little dope. Can you imagine that? We're dysfunctional. I hate to say that we are dysfunctional, but we are, all right? We are dysfunctional. So we ain't got no feelings, you know, we ain't got no feelings. You know, one would think that you would say, boy, I ain't killing him. No longer is it a sin. No longer you're going to go to hell. No longer you're going to go to, you get hanged, or you can go to jail for a long time, or you're going to break your mother's heart. No longer. Because there's no punishment. And the young people got us figure out. What do you think they figure out? They figure out that we are not strong leaders. That's what they help us figure out. They realize that we're not strong leaders. They watch around. They see how many times a person commits murder in the society, and he gets bail, then he kills somebody else, so he's given another bail and another bail. All right? They see it, so they recognize ain't nothing to these adults, and therein lies our problem. We may not want to admit it. I hate to be saying these things, right? But it is so sad, it is so tragic. So we need to keep talking to young people, and we have to continue to set some example for them, because it's sad. Can you imagine? You young and you killing off a young person. Can you imagine it? 15-year-olds killing off 15-year-olds. 18-year-olds killing off 15-year-olds. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that we are all teenagers and there's no feeling, there's no love, there's no emotion? And the thing about it is, it's like a case I will be guided in Yellow Elder. There's this warfare going on. And then one day somebody told me who the victim was and who the aggressor is. And I said, well, I'll be damned. Do you know that it's a good thing that their great-grandparents are not alive? These are the children of two first cousins. Their great-grandmothers are first cousins, but they don't know it. So they got one warfare going on, killing up one another. So therein lies our problem. It's so tragic. So my spiritual advisor is a lack of punishment, and we are dysfunctional. Therein lies our problem.
We got some serious social ills. We got some serious problems, man.
Just punish.
Anyhow, okay.
Just punish. No bail, hang. Simple as that. No bail, hang. When you do not hang, you are practicing Gestapoism. All right? I thank God that in the United States of America, capital punishment. I thank God that in communist China, they will execute you if you want to be a criminal. God save the United States of America. God save the People's Republic of China. God save King Charles III. It's powerful. Did you read the ad again?
All right, yeah, let's read this ad quickly.
Yeah.
The Minister of Health and Wellness. We'll do the 5.
Oh, you read that at 5?
Yeah, so you could continue your story
okay.
on
all right.
Dr. Menace wanting to return.
Yeah, I am very troubled over a decision by Dr. Menace to return. And this must become a national debate. We have to debate this, and we, as a peaceful people, we have to examine Dr. Menace's policy, and we have to mobilize politically to stop him. And I think we need to do so because Menace cannot be trusted. The first mistake that Menace has made is when he accepted a proposition from the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram that he was qualified to be Prime Minister. Menace lied to himself and he fooled himself. And all of us must be careful of that. We have to be careful that when people add responsibility, of us responsibility, for which we know that we are not qualified, do not be jealous and say, I am. You must not be jealous, and you must be honest and say to the person, I love the idea that you have offered me to be Prime Minister, but I'm not qualified. I'm not ready. I think this person should get the office. It does nothing to you if you acknowledge that you're not qualified and you pass it on to a person who's more qualified than you. There's no need to be jealous about it. And you should then wish the person well and do everything in your power to ensure that that person becomes a very successful political leader and by extension a very successful Prime Minister. We have to examine Dr. Menace's history. We have to look at him from the day he officially became leader and the days leading up to him becoming leader. For many of you, you may not be aware that I have been very close to decent Loretta Butler Turner. And so I've had a very unique opportunity. I have a story which I have not told you now. Remember, she did choose me, and I was among the least fortunate that she selected, but she did choose me. And so there's some things that I am aware of, and I am going to advise the country to bring every political pressure forward to stop Dr. Minnis politically. He cannot be trusted. And I'm prepared to give you the many, many examples. He could not be trusted in Abaco. I hate to think about the many people who perish in Abaco that Minnis buried without proper DNA and without proper identification. I hate to think about that poor Jamaican woman who lived on the beach, who disappeared, and Minnis was very insensitive to her visiting family. You may want to know how I know. They sought me out, and if I'm correct, they even appeared on the show as they search for their lost one. That's merely an example of me showing you his thinking, the way he treated the poor Haitian man who almost drowned during the hurricane, and white people rescue him. I hate to think about it, how white foreign people rescue him, help him to patch his roof, and provided him with food. And when Minnis arrived with immigration, Minnis yanked the tar paper off his little tent and scatter his food. And I think, God forgive me, Minnis kicked the door down. Every time I think about that, tears come to my eye. How Minnis, a man who's of African ancestry, could do that to another man of African ancestry who is in the Bahamas trying to survive and became the victim of a storm. But Minnis' heart was like a whole heart. And we're going to trust him? We're going to trust him? I'm prepared to break with every citizen of Haitian descent if I discover that they go to the F&M convention and support Minnis. I'm about to threaten them politically, that I'm prepared to break with them. Because Minnis is not saved. How could Minnis do that? So we're going to be dealing with Minnis as I move to rally the nation to reject him and to use my F&M influence to defeat him. That is what we're going to do. And I think I have the blessing of the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, whom I've not seen since I went to show him how sick I was a couple months ago. I had to go see him. Something said to me, boy, you sick? You can't find Dwayne Sands? You better go see Hubert Ingram. And I went to see Hubert Ingram, and he was holding council. In the midst of his council was some very interesting people, interesting Conky Joes, interesting Negroes. And then I approached as he sat in the middle, and full of emotion, I loose the cloth around my foot so that he can see my suffering and the deterioration of my foot. And when he saw it, he was moved with pity and emotion. And he said to me, I'm going to call Dr. Dwayne Sands today. Yeah. So we will turn Dr. Minnis back. He's not good for the country. Maurice Moore is correct. Hubert Minnis has had his opportunity, and we cannot trust him. Don't forget what Ingram said. It is a matter of trust. So we're not going to let him become the leader of the opposition. And it is the duty every FNM to challenge and to oppose Dr. Minnis. Okay? So, I think it's time that I call upon Ingram so he could see that I'm able to walk better than when he last saw me. So God is good. My spiritual advisor.
Yeah, I'm becoming really, really concerned about why Dr. Minnis wants to come back, and I'm wondering if he's being truthful.
If he's being
Truthful with the Bahamian people. He sounds really desperate, and it's concerning now. He's
My
almost like a
spiritual advisor.
drowning man,
Yes.
grasping for straws.
Let us unite.
So you're wondering about his motive now.
Let us unite.
And just 10 minutes back, man.
And turn him back.
Absolutely.
Give me a right hand salute. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Let us turn
Dr. Minnis back.
Dr. Minnis back.
He's not good for the
Thank
country.
you. He's not good for the country. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Rule is my spiritual advisor. And of course, we are at a point when we're going to do birthdays. But before we do birthdays, we will start with Mother's Day greeting.
Yeah, we got some belated Mother's Day greetings to do today. So let's examine these mothers. This first mother here, we want to say a belated Mother's Day greeting to Venus Cox. It's coming from all your church family and friends. They just so that would be Minister Sherry Missick? Okay, so let's do that then. Happy belated Mother's Day to Minister Sherry Missick. It's coming from your children and church family, of course, and of course those who love you. So happy belated Mother's Day to Sherry Missick. And then another belated Mother's Day birthday going out to Venus Cox, coming from all your family and church friends as well. They love you, and they hope that you enjoyed your Mother's Day, which was yesterday. Let's see, we have another one. Who's the third one? Joyce Pinder. All right, so happy belated Mother's Day. Going out to Joyce Pinder, coming from your family and friends, your church family as well. And they hope you enjoyed your Mother's Day, which was yesterday. All right, and now we want to do what, birthdays? All right, I think I saw this one here. So happy birthday goes out to Justin Smith. It's coming from his mom Ingrid, his grandmother Lillian, his aunt Alicia, his uncle Keith, also P.S. Luther Smith and his family members and friends. Of course, the Smiths and the Dane family as well. So happy birthday to Justin Smith from your mom Ingrid. All right, and then we want to send a happy belated birthday to Lisa Smith, coming from your parents, Horace and Delamay Sterling, your siblings and family and friends. Continue to enjoy. They love you. God bless you. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday to Lisa Smith. We also want to send a birthday shout out to LaShante Miller. It's coming from your mom. Happy birthday to you. They hope you live to enjoy many more, and they hope you enjoyed your birthday. So happy birthday to LaShante Miller. You had a wedding anniversary? Oh, so let's see. Where did I see that now? I saw it. Okay, yeah, so happy birthday to Clanice Camp, coming from a dad and Martha, brothers and sisters and friends. They love you. Enjoy your day. All the best. Happy birthday, Clanice Camp. And then this wedding anniversary, we want to send a 24th wedding anniversary out to Mr. and Mrs. Hepburn, coming from Maya, Deshawn, and Day, with love. Happy 24th wedding anniversary, Mr. and Mistress Hepburn. All right, what else do we have, Mr. Producer? No, your godson thing.
Yes. Well, let us see the video of our godson who graduated.
Woo! Thank you, Jesus. What is it? Physical education and recreation. Physical education. Okay, KLBA. Thank you, Jesus. Lord, I thank you.
He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Lunn, and of course he has done very, very well, so we want to congratulate him, and this is powerful. What next do we have?
We did everything, did we?
Yeah, I think we did.
Oh, you want me to do this ad?
At 5 p.m.
Yes, let's do that. And then let's get back to Dr. Menace and what we see in the newspapers with him attempting to come back to lead the Free National Movement. All right, so the Minister of Health and Wellness, of course, they're proposing a new hospital. And of course, they're going to hold what is called some town meetings. They have 2 dates for these meetings. The first meeting is going to be held May the 14th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, come join us May the 14th. And the venue is the Stapleton School Auditorium, Dolphin Drive. And of course, the second meeting is going to be held May the 16th. And the venue, of course, will be the Living Waters Kingdom Ministries, Warren Street. Now, the time for these events start at 7 p.m. Both of them start at 7 p.m. Of course, these town hall meetings are geared towards getting you involved in proposed new hospital building. Of course, the Ministry of Health and Wellness invites you to join us for our town halls to discuss the new state-of-the-art hospital to be located at the Providence Highway, which is Dolphin Drive. Your input is vital as we strive to expand excellence in healthcare. We want to hear from you. There's going to be a panel presentation and, of course, an open mic. Residents of Stapleton, Rock Crusher, Dolphin Drive, West Grove, and surrounding communities are invited to come and attend these town hall meetings, which is going to be May the 14th at the Stapleton School Auditorium, Dolphin Drive, or on May the 16th at 7 p.m. at the Living Waters Kingdom Ministries on Warren Street. Both events are slated to be held at 7 p.m. That's the start time. Of course, these town hall meetings are geared towards hearing from you on the proposed state-of-the-art hospital that is to be located on the Providence Highway, which is on Dolphin Drive. Your input is vital as we strive to expand excellence in health care. Thank you.
And of course, we also will point out to you that Dr. Michael Davile, who is the health minister, has now announced that the Commonwealth of the Bahamas will be getting a very good loan from one of the banks of the People's Republic of China. If I understand the figures correctly, the Chinese State Bank shall lend to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas about $290 million. And this is funds that will be used to build a state-of-the-art hospital. So this is welcome news. I have been studying the statement from the health minister. I'll talk more about it perhaps tomorrow. But listening to it, the loan is going to be very, very good. I've not asked my spiritual advisor, who is a banker by profession, to look over the maths, but...
2%. It's going to be 2%. Now, Senator, the thing that disturbs me about this hospital loan is the country that's willing to give the loan, which is the People's Republic of China. There has to be some concern with that.
What would be a principal concern?
Well, the principal concern is what is in it for the Chinese?
Well, they get 2% on their investment.
Right. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, and you believe that?
Well, you don't think we will pay them 2%?
Yeah, we will pay them 2%,
That's
but
one.
but there's some other things involved.
Yeah, well, there's always other interests.
Yes,
Are you aware that China has lent the United States money?
Yes, we understand all that stuff.
Are you aware? I want you to listen to me for a second.
Okay, advance your argument.
I want you to stop what
No, don't do that. That's my opinion. Senator, why is the Chinese always so willing and able to help these small Caribbean countries?
Everybody is investing in China.
I don't trust the Chinese, Senator, and I have reason not to.
Okay, well, I can.
You understand that, right?
Yeah. My spiritual advisor.
Don't do it though. Not today.
Do what?
Don't go into details, man. Not today.
I don't know.
Let's look at this $250 million loan, right?
If you are going to talk objectively, don't make it personal.
It's not personal.
But
it's just a political view.
But politics is always personal.
Why is the Chinese so willing to lend us money for this hospital?
Your problem is you didn't properly negotiate it with the Chinese.
Sandra, I told you, please, let's leave that for another time.
No, I want to get this clear.
Let's look at the naked
I don't want
here.
you to sully this wonderful...
Silly? Is it silly or soil? Soil.
I'm not that educated.
That's wonderful.
What is the word?
I don't know what you're trying to do.
I don't want you to sully.
You don't want me to muddy the water.
I don't want you to muddy the water as it relates to this wonderful economic investment here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
By the Chinese.
By the Chinese, because in your case, you failed to get...
Senator, forget, man.
You bring it up!
Yeah, but Senator...
What you bring it up for?
Okay, the only thing...
If you are my spiritual advisor, you
are
you
something else.
No. If we are going to
I don't trust the Chinese, all right?
Yes, and I'm saying...
They're communists. What your Grammy told you about the communists? All of a sudden, now you forget that, eh?
What did Mama say?
Yeah, Grammy told you.
Go ahead.
The communists don't believe in Jesus, man.
That is true.
All right? I don't
Notwithsta-
trust nobody who don't believe in Jesus.
Yeah,
You understand that, right?
Would you agree?
Because they're capable of anything.
Would you agree that Jesus has blessed China?
God has blessed the whole world.
I'm talking about China.
Yes, China's
Don't you agree that God has blessed China?
Yes.
Are you not aware that Christianity
Is in China.
So what the hell are you talking about?
Generally.
All right.
Generally, the Chinese don't believe in Jesus.
And
You ever see that big fat man named Buddha?
yeah, well, Buddha's a
Yeah, that's
Buddha's
their
a
man.
Buddha's a good guy.
That's the
But I want you, but I want you to remain focused. I want you to remain focused. This is welcome news. We need a modern hospital. We know that a couple months ago, on the island of Grand Bahama, the Progressive Liberal Party had a groundbreaking exercise where there's a big hospital that is under construction. And this is welcome news that we're going to have a brand new hospital here on the island of New Providence. So it's welcome news. The reality of the matter is the United States of America and China are the world two super, help me with the word, super, what kind of economy? Super economy. If the Americans will not give us a reasonable loan, then we have to turn to the yellow people. See, white people do not want to finance us. We have to turn to who? The yellow man. It's simple as that. And China has offered us a better concession.
It is an attractive loan.
And
it's 2%. Wow.
in this development, I see things. I see a new hospital where we will be able to have better facilities for eye care. Just today, I had a woman call me from Grand Bahama. She says, tell Dr. Michael Dowell there's no eye doctor in Grand Bahama. Her eye is hurting. So I said, you better give me a name. Let me put you at the top of the list. Let me get it to Dr. Michael Dowell. So we need the economic assistance. And it's welcome news. And from what I'm hearing, there's going to be lots of construction for the locals. So we need the hospital. It's going to be on 50 acres of land. Dr. Dowell is going to hold a town hall meeting tomorrow at, where's it being held, the first one?
The first one is going to be held at the Stapleton School.
It's going to be held at Stapleton School Auditorium.
Right.
Then the second one is going to be held on Warren Street at the
Living Waters Ministry.
At Living Waters
Warren Street.
Ministry. So it is welcome news, and we need the money. And I thank God that China is willing to give this government such a wonderful concession. Let us not forget, it was Hubert Ingram who brought the Chinese here, Okay? And everybody knows that Papa is a Christian. Why are you saying who? Why are you laughing? Spiritual advisor. You better stop it because Papa hold you in high regard, He always asks me for you, so stop it.
He's asking me?
Of course.
Okay, great. Okay.
All right?
Papa's my boy, man.
Yeah, man.
I like Papa.
And so,
I hope Papa can come back.
Papa's coming back for the campaign. All right?
He got a minute against Menace,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He can vote against Menace, too.
Yeah. And so, it's welcome news. So I want people to participate, go to the town meeting. I also want all those who have eye problems, you all show up at the town hall meeting. So Dr. Dowell will see you. Because my brother, I work all day and all night just trying to get it out. I even now have a volunteer who's typing up so that we can either email it or send it to Dr. Michael Dowell. So it's big news, and I'm so excited that this is happening because I'm very concerned about the health care of our people. And I want every person living in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to have what I call socialized medicine. And I'll have you to know, the socialized medicine wasn't started under the PLP, It was my family's party. We were UBPs. We believed in Brent Sim, the daddy, the late Sir Roland Simonet. We believe in Sir Stafford Sands and all them UBP fellas. All right? And then Pinland came along and overthrew them. And the PLP ran off with many of the social programs that were started by the country Joes, the UBP. And you see, I ain't like Brent. See, Brent might be ashamed to be a UBP, but I am not. I'm not. I've never been afraid to say UBP, never, okay? So I think it's great. I think Dr. Michael Dowell is working very, very hard on the project. I want Bahamians to attend. I want them to study the project, and I want them to come up with recommendations. What kind of hospital you want to see, and how can we all join in love and unity and push this forward. And let me tell you what is good about this project. The foundation of it is such that whenever the Free National Movement comes to power, the most it could do is to build upon the foundation. And that's the way it should be. So it's good.
See, now we don't know if it's good or not, right? As it relates.
Something I say.
No, Sanders.
Go ahead.
Let's wait and see
Wait on what?
what the HOA is going to look like.
What HOA stand for?
Heads of agreement, right?
Okay.
We want to find out how much Chinese can be involved
Okay.
in constructing this building, right?
All right.
We will know how many Bahamian contractors
Okay.
are going to get work from this.
All right.
We want to know what kind of concessions is going to be given to the Chinese as a result of this loan. It's all kind of things to be involved.
All right.
Because if we get the loan from the Chinese,
Yeah.
maybe we should have our own people build this hospital.
Okay.
Because if the Chinese is going to build it, then we need to do some
I want
more
you to know that
negotiation.
this is a very big hospital.
We understand that.
And
We
what I like
understand
about the Chinese, hospitals take them like 2 to 3 weeks to build.
So they're just like a makeshift.
Right?
So the thing about it, the hospital may have already been built in China, prefab, and just waiting to be shipped to
I
the
can
Bahamas.
give 2 penny as long as
2 penny
it's built.
or 2 pennies?
What you have to teach me. So what is the point that they're making is, I think it's a good loan, and China got plenty US dollars. Okay? And that's the way to
And
go.
I don't understand Americans, right? Here's what I don't understand about the Americans, right?
Okay.
You're trying to keep communism out of this part of the world.
Yeah.
But yet still you won't be friendly towards countries that's right next door to you. You see they're trying to develop economically and do well for their country.
What
right?
country they're not being friendly with?
Like the Bahamas. Like, say for instance, now that they're hearing that... Give me a second. Now that they're hearing that the Chinese wants to give us this loan, right?
Right.
They said, look here, they should call the Prime Minister, listen, we can lend you all $250 million at 1%.
250?
How much is the hospital going to cost?
And the Chinese giving us 290?
290 million?
Yeah.
At 2%.
Yeah.
So the Americans say, listen, man, we'll do it at 1% or 0.05% or 0.5%.
Or
And knock the Chinese out the ballpark. But
No.
they don't want to keep communists from out of this hemisphere.
no. You
So
gotta
the Chinese is just reeling their way around, and they're just, in a very subtle way, just moving their claws over the Caribbean countries.
No.
And controlling them.
No,
By giving them these
there's a
these
trick
loans.
that you are
You don't
ignoring.
understand how the Chinese operate, Senator.
My spiritual advisor,
They're
I
very,
want you to
very
stop-
deliberate and subtle people.
I want you to stop your
right?
anti-Chinese
No, it is
and
the
listen
truth.
to this.
It is the truth. The Chinese is trying to control a lot of things.
Yes.
And now they've moved their claws into the Caribbean.
Yes.
They've been doing this for years.
My
They've been doing
spiritual
this for years.
advisor, most of the people in Jamaica is Chinese.
Yeah. You
Also-
see Haiti was complaining at one point. They're trying to get the Chinese out of Haiti. The Chinese basically was controlling all the other little things around Haiti.
My spiritual advisor,
Anyhow.
I want you to be objective
Watch China.
I want you
just keep your eyes on them, Senator.
Somebody say, I want you to put Sino.
It's a superpower, you know.
I want you to put
just like how the Americans try to control the world, the Chinese trying to do it too, but they doing it in a subtle way.
China is capitalist. Do not mind that they, among themselves, they call themselves communists. As long as they're spending big bucks and they're giving reasonable loans, we need the loan.
Yeah, I know.
All right? We need China rush.
You gotta be careful when you get debts. And not only that, do we really need this loan?
Yes.
What about carbon credits? What about all of the money from carbon credits, right? What about the VAT money?
Who's the man?
What about all the natural resources?
Who's the man to get us the credit thing?
Wow.
That's the Russians. You know that man is Russian.
Do we really need to borrow 290 million?
Yes, we need the money. We need a new hospital. All right? We need a new hospital, so we need it.
What happened to the VAT money?
What VAT? We using VAT money to pay off other expenses.
Okay.
All right? You know the millions of dollars that ministers didn't give an accounting for? The prime minister got to pay that off.
Never forget this principle, Senator.
What's that?
Whoever controls the debt controls the world.
My spiritual advisor, the earth is the Lord's.
Just remember that.
Who owned the earth?
Just remember
Who
that.
owned the earth?
Just remember that.
Who owned the earth?
Whoever controls the debt
Oh, Jesus.
controls the world.
It's amazing.
Keep you in debt.
The level of emotion.
That's what banks try to do.
Let us look
Keep you in debt.
at,
To control you.
my spiritual advisor, let us look at the economic benefit, the health benefit.
We don't know what the economic benefits
China
will be like.
is sending us quite a lot of doctors,
So,
says Dr. Michael Dowell,
okay.
who's going to be moving cataract and so forth. We have a lot of doctors coming out of California. The world is a global village. We need other nations in order to advance our people. So let's not get upset about it. The Chinese got $290 million. We can spend that and we pay them at 20%.
Okay.
We need a hospital.
Let's see how it goes.
All right? We need better health facilities for our people. All right? So it's as simple as that. I think it's a wonderful thing. And I think the country should support it.
Let's wait.
All right?
Let's
Now,
wait.
if you
Let's see
want to
the
create
HOA.
political distraction, that energy that you have, I want you to prepare to launch an attack on Dr. Minis.
Yeah, let's look at Dr. Minis.
All right.
Let's look at what he says
Okay.
in The Guardian.
What is he saying?
Let's see what he says, because this doesn't make any sense what Dr. Minis is running on.
What is he saying?
Here's what he says. I believe I'll get a second chance. In what world, Dr. Minis? Huh? Are you fishing from the moon now, eh? In what world?
Well, that's the first problem.
Okay, former Prime Minister Dr. Iltv said he believes that Bahamians would, if given, what do you mean by would, if given the chance? We have a chance to decide who we're going to really elect for the next government, whenever the time in 2026. We're not going to be given any chance. We have the vote in our hands.
Let us
So I'm trying to
hear-
what do you mean by if given the chance?
Let's hear what boy.
What's that mean?
Let's hear what boy ignorance has to say.
Re-elect him as prime minister? What is he talking about? I believe that said Minis, who appeared on the R TV talk show on the record with host Room Sawyer last Thursday. The Bahamian people know that I care about them. Okay, that's interesting. They know that my heart is right with
I
them.
am saved by the bell.
We'll get Dr. Minis tomorrow.
It's 6 o'clock.
It's 5:30. Call it after.
This is Freedom Match. My name is Rodney Monka. God save China, Bahamas, arrangement. We need this hospital. God save the king. We'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody. Minutes gotta go. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor, and we are receiving breaking news coming from the southwestern part of the island of New Providence, in which it is being alleged that a wildfire has broken out in the Coral Harbor community. Now, for many of you, you may not be aware that in the Bahamas, wildfire are natural. Of course, it has to be managed. If it isn't managed, it could get out of hand. But that's one of the way it controls the undergrowth. That's one of the way it controls some of the vegetation below the pine trees. So we are told that it is smoky in that area, and it has created almost like a traffic jam. So if you're listening to me, and you do see the smoke and you do smell the pine, you may want to see if there is an alternative route to coming up this way. So that is what we are being told. And as you are aware, the last couple of hours has been very, very hot. So we are seeing, a change in temperature, even though officially summer has not yet begun.
Sorry about that, Ms. Medusa. Sorry about that, Senator. This is at the intersection right here. We understand that there's a major road jam, traffic jam, and people who are stuck in this traffic jam want us to inform the police to send some help. There are some motorists who are claiming that they've been here for 45 minutes, not being able to move at the intersection of Robertson Road and the East-West Highway near the mall. We understand that there's a major traffic jam in this area. They want the police, the road traffic department, to be aware of this. I don't know how they're not aware of it after traffic. We understand that there are some traffic road users who may have been in this traffic jam for more than 45 minutes. One particular person says they've been in their car for 45 minutes.
And this would be precisely where?
At the intersection of Robertson Road and the East-West Highway.
And as we are aware, sometimes the street isn't as safe, so we need these traffic to continue to move. So I'm certain that those officials at the Road Traffic Department of the Royal Bahamas Police Force shall look out for members of the public. And this is powerful.
We're going to open the lines now. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. Senator, you did address the attempted suicide at the Paradise Island Bridge with the 32-year-old young lady and a 2-year-old daughter, right? You did address that, right?
Yeah, but okay. If you have further information, do you?
No, the public was wondering if we had talked about it. Yes, we
have spoken about it. There is this report that a Negro female in possession of a child, perhaps she was persuaded from jumping off the Paradise Island Bridge. Good citizens apparently encourage her not to, help to restrain her. So we are happy to report that she and the child is out of harm's way. So there are many stressful related situations, but we live in a society that even when you complain that you have a problem, there's nobody to talk to. Sometimes these are very simple matters. You go to social service and you need a little bit of food for the child, and everybody is insensitive. People don't seem to understand that in many instances we wouldn't beg if we had it. So when somebody comes and say, hey, I ain't got nothing for my baby, we should be considerate, be kind, and be helpful.
Yes, the line's open. Call us, 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0776. We covered quite a bit today, so you're free to discuss anything we may have covered today. I'm going to take this call. Go ahead.
Hello, cell phone.
Bonnie, how you doing?
Listen, I'm fine. How are you?
How you doing today? How you enjoy your Mother's Day with your wife yesterday?
my wife is not on the island. She is off island.
What do you know? I want to talk about when you go. When you go on vacation and park your car to be on duty, they have nowhere for you to park out there.
There's no place to park?
No, somebody told me they do it the other day, and they gotta pay.
Really?
They gotta pay to park their car, and when you go, I know a couple of years ago, one lady parked her Jeep in the back of the post office, and she come up to her Jeep, was gone.
Okay, well, you tell that person that when they go to the court, speak to the chief bailiff.
Say that, say again.
Tell the person when they return to court, speak to the bailiff who's dealing with that specific group of jurors, and ask the bailiff for assistance, okay?
Yeah, man, that's true now.
Yeah. I thank you, eh? Bye-bye.
All right.
Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Hello.
Yes, caller, you're live. Go ahead.
Yes, spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon.
Marker. Listen, we're friends with the folks with those with the traffic jam. How come they saying it's on Robinson Road and near East West Highway and traffic stations right up there on the hill? The traffic's supposed to be aware of that long time.
Well, you saw the video, right?
I saw the video.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought the same thing too.
They have a lot of motorbikes. I can't see how they can't get through the crowd, through there and get there.
Yeah,
And they're right there.
Yeah, something is wrong. I don't know what caused that. Because then, the traffic division is just up the street on top of the hill there, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, they'll get it sorted out. But we can't say exactly why that was the way it is, okay?
Yeah. And I get back to what I called you all for. I listened to you and Mr. Manka in reference to that loan from China. We, as a small country, cannot classify ourselves as America. America have trade with China. We don't. So, I don't know. Maybe hopefully they'll get it sorted out.
Turn your radio on first, please.
Hello, I said, America does trade with China, which we don't. We don't have nothing to trade with China. So we have to be very careful with that. I'm not knocking it that they shouldn't borrow the money. But America told the Bahamas long time ago, be careful with China. But America could go in there and do what they want to do because they got what it takes. We don't got what it takes.
What is it that they have that it takes?
It's so much things that we cannot even think about.
Yeah,
Remember what all the
trading with America.
But
China.
you're not right. We do have something to trade
America
with
just buy
China.
their cars. What could we buy for them for trade?
We can trade with China. We trade our
Trade what?
our dollars. We purchase from them. We have purchasing power. Okay?
Purchasing power?
Yeah,
From where?
from
You
China.
gotta be joking.
Where you think China brush comes from?
You gotta be joking. All we do is get used round and round.
Oh, where you think China brush comes from?
Yeah, but you go at those small stuff.
Okay, thank you.
323-777-5 is the number to call. 698-0775. 698-0776. Residents are asked to exercise extreme caution when traveling along Coral Harbor Drive due to low visibility and ongoing wildfires. You're also encouraged to find alternate routes when entering the Coral Harbor area. Please monitor the official websites, that's the government website, and social media pages of local authorities for any further updates. So there is a major concern in the Coral Harbor area because of a brush fire.
Well, I'm going to blame that on two politicians, Dr. Hubert Minnis and Marvin Dames. Marvin lives in Coral Harbor. He served as a minister. He drove or rode with Dr. Minnis, and the least he could have gotten Dr. Minnis to do was to install some hydrants. So that's another reason for the F&M convention
That's unfair.
to reject him. All right?
Anyway,
It's unfair?
yeah, let's talk about it after the call. Welcome to Freedom House, caller. You're live. Hello, caller. Yeah, go ahead. You're live, caller.
Yes. Good afternoon to you, Brother Manka,
So,
and Mr. Rowan.
Good afternoon.
Okay, hello?
go ahead, talk.
You're live.
Okay, I want to point out three things right here which I would like to know about. Okay, first off, who is the MP for Glaston Road area?
Now, what part Gladstone Road?
Glaston Road, that's from one end to the next end.
To the other end. Is that in
Gladstone
your
Road?
constituency, Mr.
No,
Spiritual
you
Advisor?
can't say. Where in Gladstone Road, sir?
Okay. What I wanted to say is that Glaston Road, I don't know if you ever travel on Glaston Road in the morning.
Okay.
Let's say
Around what time?
7:30 until around 9:30.
Traffic.
There is no police present. And
Really?
I mean, you have some drivers who come from the side, riding on the side, and they just jump in line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number two, motorbikes. I have seen these young boys at the age of probably around 8 or 9 ride these motorbikes, and they have a big problem in Baintown. To
8 and 9?
Augusta Street and West Street.
Yeah.
I thought these boys just be prancing up and down on these bikes.
Yes.
Where the
It's a
police?
menace.
Okay.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And number 4.
Yes.
The ministers need to go back home and go cook some more.
Yeah, stew fish.
Say that again?
Mr. Miller,
Yeah.
Dr. Miller need to go back home and continue to cook his stew fish. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Carlos.
Yeah, let me just go home, go cook stew fish. I think it's powerful.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Mr. Roll
Yes, sir.
and Mr. Manga,
So,
how you all doing?
We're doing great, thank you.
I only want to send a quick little request out Mother's Day, later in Mother's Day to the mothers in Pinewood and the grandmas in Pinewood.
this
Okay.
is
Happy
powerful.
Mother's related day.
Related. Okay.
Thank you on behalf of
Okay.
mothers. You're
All
a
right.
good man.
All right, don't forget that.
We
No
won't.
problem.
God bless you.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Go ahead, Call. You there? Did we lose that call? 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Hey, a pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Monica. Senator, how are you, sir?
I am fine, sir. How are you?
Excellent, I'm blessed. Mr. Rule, how are you, sir?
Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah. I had heard you earlier saying that you don't trust the Chinese.
No, I don't.
And I totally agree with you. But, right after that, a thought came to my mind when the Bible says the wealth of the who is laid up for the who.
Oh, hallelujah.
Well,
Hallelujah.
man,
Hallelujah.
They're going to
Hallelujah.
borrow the money and they're going to benefit from it, but watch and see what's going to happen, eh?
Nothing is going to
Well,
happen.
That's who's going to benefit
spiritual
ultimately.
Advisor, until then, my heart will keep on singing. So we gotta take advantage of this opportunity because
Yes.
the health of a nation
Yes.
is the wealth of a nation.
Amen.
And so that's my 5 cents and my take. But you guys continue to do the good work. And Mr. Manta, I saw you on Saturday. It was in my mother-in-law area.
You saw me?
Yes, sir.
I thought I was undercover.
Yeah, I was coming over for some pea soup and dumpling, but
Yes.
yeah.
You did
Next
see me.
time.
Listen, I thank
All right,
you.
thank you, caller.
It's
Yeah, God bless
powerful.
you guys.
Yeah, man, you
Okay.
too. Take care. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775, 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Good afternoon, board.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, sir?
Fine. How you doing, sir?
Excellent. Mr. Monga.
Sir,
Mr. Monga, you're the FNM who PLP, correct?
I am an FNM who voted for Philip Brave Davis and the governing Progressive Liberal Party.
Yes, Mr. Monga, last week you was on the television. I listened to you clearly.
What did I say?
It sounded you was hoping that Dr. Minnis was re-elected as the leader of FNM. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
That's possible, yeah.
So Mr. Monga, are you telling me Mr. Brave Davis, the Prime Minister, the great Prime Minister, yes, he prefer fight against Dr. Minnis and Mr. Pintard? Is he afraid of Mr. Pintard? Mr. Monga?
Listen, any one of them, Philip Brave Davis, will buck their head
So why were you so adamant about Dr. Minnis getting back on Mr. Monka?
Well, strategy changes by the hour. Last night, I happened to be in a prayerful session, and so it was concluded that we should stop Minnis.
Yeah, I think the stigma on Dr. Minnis, I think you all have an easier time beating Dr. Minnis than beating Dr. Pintard.
Take it from me. Do you know that Michael Pintard ran against Philip Brave Davis before?
Yeah, but not in this capacity.
Are you aware that he ran against him before?
And what was the outcome, Mr. Monka?
What he said?
What is the
What was
outcome?
the outcome?
Michael lost.
Mr. Monka, you know I love that you. History is inside of you, and you educate us every day, and I appreciate you for that, Mr. Monka.
I thank you for your kindness.
You're spiritual about well. Good evening.
Yes, you too.
well.
Take care. Okay. Bye-bye. 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Good evening, Spiritual Advisor.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Mr. Monka.
Good evening, my dear.
I am calling to wish my granduncle, Anthony Blatch,
Yes.
a happy birthday.
Okay.
Wow.
Today is his birthday, and he is 78 years old.
Oh, God bless him.
Yes.
And listen,
Mhm.
go ahead.
And he's a very good granduncle.
Wow.
When I attended your alma mater,
Uh-huh.
CC Tweeting,
Yes.
he was a security officer there.
Wow.
And he really took good care of me and my siblings who attended the school.
God bless him.
Yes,
And God bless you for remembering him.
yes.
Isn't that wonderful?
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good evening.
You too.
So
Take
well.
care.
Yeah.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Good evening, Spiritual Advisor and Mr. Monka.
Good evening.
So,
First time caller.
welcome.
Okay, good. Now, I have 3 matters I would like to come clarity on. Okay?
Okay.
One, I work in the private sector. Okay? And all of us are laborers in this country. Okay? And it seems like the private sector people who work over PI has to pay to come to work. Now, don't mind that I understand the fact that you have to pay to help to keep the bridge going and what's not and all that good stuff.
Yes.
But I think the employees should pay less to come to work.
The,
Because
the employees,
The employees.
should pay nothing.
it should,
No.
but it doesn't happen with
I do not.
every employee that works over PI has to pay to come to work.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's wrong.
And I think we need to address that because Labor Day is coming up soon.
Yeah.
You have private sector and you have the public sector.
Yes.
And I think it's no more than fair that we try to make some type of compromise when it comes to the employees that works over PI.
Well, the question I would want to ask you is, are you in tourism?
Yes, I am.
Well, if you are in tourism and you're working for the hotel, your hotel should pay for you to come across.
But from what I understand, it went up, Mr. Monka. One time ago, it used to be like 50 cents on a pass when you come over the bridge.
Yeah.
Now it's like $2 a pass to come on the bridge.
The government must charge its fee, but the hotel should pay for the workers.
Well, Mr. Monka, I would like for you to address that situation
I
as
shall.
possible, as soon as you could.
I shall.
Okay? And
Yeah.
then the second matter is that, but it's quite urgent to me, and I think it's been going on for too long. Now, the former Prime Minister, Mr. Hubert Ingram,
Papa?
Papa, yes,
ahead.
the great Papa.
Yes.
Now, the contract or the policy that was in place when Sir Krishna was in place
Yes.
was that if the employer decides to redundant you, you get paid 12 years, up to 12 years.
Okay.
Okay? I think now that the administration of Papa time has come and gone. So I think that needs to be addressed because right now we as laborers in the private sector are not really getting a fair shake at this.
But let me ask you a question. Where did you get that idea from that you were entitled to 12 years?
Well, Mr. Monka, if you are a person who is in love with history like I am,
Okay.
you would know for a fact that Papa signed an agreement with the Kirchner Sun International at
Are
that
you
time.
suggesting to me?
For that, as I'm saying, if the employer decide to make any employees redundant.
So let me ask you, are you suggesting to me that Papa put that in a heads of agreement?
Yes, along with the former administration at that time.
I'm not sure you are correct, but I shall go and ask Papa.
Okay, well, if you can even go for better than that. You can go to the Ministry of Labor right now, and that policy is still in place.
No. Do not confuse a policy with a heads of agreement.
So you telling me now, as citizens of this country, we cannot do nothing but that heads of agreement, as I'm saying.
No.
Make changes to it to benefit the laborer, the regular laborer.
If there is an existing heads of an agreement, there's nothing you can do with that. The government is subject to that heads of agreement.
So how does long that stay in the play, Mr. Monka? How long is that heads of agreement stay in the play when the regular employee or the regular private worker is not getting a share of fake?
Well, I want you to listen to my answer now.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Hubert Minnis has signed one of the worst heads of agreement with the new people who have taken over a portion of Paradise Island. It is so horrible that your great grandchildren will be tied by their two big toes.
Oh, wow.
All right?
Okay, one final...
And I thank you for calling, because you...
No, I got one final thing. One final thing, Mr. Monka.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, we know that the environment, we understand that the plastic was banned due to it flow in the water and and destroying the environment.
Yes.
But what about the brown paper bag? That is biodegrade breakdown. As I said, if you get it from the food store, you can come up with your bag and know that it's going to break down with water and dissolve quicker than plastic would. Why we don't bring back the brown paper bag so you can have some type of privacy, some type of decency coming out the shop with an item that you purchase?
It's a brilliant idea, and there are some stores who do give you brown paper bag. I don't want to call their name because I really don't want to be accused of giving them publicity, but I've been to quite a number of places. Take, for instance, when I go to buy native bread. They put my bread in a brown bag.
Right.
I find it more delicious when it's in a brown bag.
Yeah.
So there are
brown bag and roaches go together, eh?
There's no roach in
that's what happens.
Yeah, but
your
Mr.
point-
Spiritual Advisor Monka, thank you for allowing me to be here, first time caller.
Thank you.
But please look into those so
I'm gonna
it
talk
can
to
be fair
Papa.
across the board, please.
Absolutely.
I
Thank you so
needed
much, caller.
an excuse to see
Thank
him.
you.
Now, if God spare my life on Sunday, I have one of the best excuses to go and see
Go
him.
to Starbucks.
So I thank you very much. Call us
Sorry.
anytime, eh?
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. 323-777.
Advisor.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, caller. You're live.
All right. Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Can I still put a name down for Dr. Dabo?
Yeah, don't say anything. I'm going to let
excuse
my
me.
producer,
The producer will take it.
from you. So say it confidentially to him, okay? Producer, take that call for me, please. Anybody who wants to put their name on the list, you may call in. My producer will take it from you. Or if you call my cell phone, I'll take it from you. And you can call me all day and all night. And who knows, depending on how I feel, when Dr. Dowell holds his town hall meeting, I may set up a desk there. But you know, they can say, you see, Monka come here to show off. No! I come to get the people's name. Yeah.
I'm concerned about Dr. Minnesota.
My spiritual
He
advisor.
seems to be really desperate in getting back to power.
Yeah.
And that he's using psychology now to get people to think that There's some things that he was not given the chance to complete, or there's some things that he was not given a chance to
complete.
get the people, the Bahamian people, to see exactly what he was trying to do for them. And he says he loved the poor people.
Minister,
It's amazing. Wow.
there are so many reasons why we have to reject Menace. Remember when Menace had a big fat white man who showed up?
Kruger?
Kruger. Everybody know Kruger was never a good character in theater.
At least not Freddy Krueger.
Anyway, if it is God's will, tomorrow, let us organize everything you know about Dr. Menace. Call me and let's turn them back. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save King Charles III. Do well, everybody. Spiritual advisor.
Until tomorrow.
Put on the full armor.
Be able to withstand the fiery darts of Satan.
Amen. God save the King.